I love Halloween, but not scary Halloween. I like the not so spooky Halloween, and our Hide and Eek collection from Creative Memories is the perfect solution to my Halloween. Hello, scrapbookers and creative friends. I'm Linda Petuch, Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts, the not so spooky Thursday Thoughts, because today I'm going to share with you the Hide and Eek collection from Creative Memories. It was a small collection. It just had 6 double pages of designer paper and some 3 sticker strips, or 3 sticker pages as a normal sticker pack. But it was really fun. They reissued for this collection. They reissued the Spooky Spiderweb border punch, and not too long ago they also did the wheat, which is really fun. So both of those work really well with that, and I'm going to show you a couple of other punches that I took out to go with this collection as well, and you may have them, border maker cartridges and standalone punches. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before I get started though, I have one little correction that I'm going to show you on a page where I used mitering and welding, and I'm going to just clear that up because it was brought to my attention by one of my viewers that I was mixing up those terms, and I don't want that to happen. The teacher in me has to fix that. So I'm going to take care of that as well. So I say we should get started. So my inspiration, of course, was the Hide and Eek designer paper pack and the stickers, which you can see I've used all but 2 of the borders, and a couple of these I've saved because I wanted them to go with the photographs that I'm going to be putting on those pages. Now, I will say this was the perfect time for this collection to come out because my daughter treated herself and me. We went to Disney World. She hadn't been since she was 3, and she's now 36. So it was high time. So she treated us to Magic Kingdom and all of the other Disney parks in Orlando that we wanted to go to. And we went to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So right up my alley. It's just perfect. So besides this paper, I did use all of the cardstock that's listed up here as coordinating cardstock: tangerine, pumpkin, songbird blue, beige, and black. I pulled out extra black, extra pumpkin, and extra songbird blue. That is the beauty of being an advisor. I have a lot of those materials right here. So think about that. In any case, so here I did use the spiderweb punch. I used the wheat punch. I used the, this one is called Pumpkin Vine. I used that one. And I also pulled out this branch. I love this one all times of the year. So I pulled that out. That was really fun to use. Now, the border maker cartridges I used, this one is called Starry. This is an edge punch. I used this little pumpkin chain punch as well, and the bats, which is also an edge punch that you can cut it, whatever length. And I did pull out these adorable little ghosts, but I ended up not using them yet. I know that once I actually put photos down on a couple of the back pages, I use the top loading pockets, so I'll probably use it later. But in any case, this is where my inspiration was, plus I just love Halloween. So let's take a look at the pages that I created. My first design, I actually have work on both sides for my top loading pockets. So this first one, I used this paper and I cut out a frame, 1.5-inch frame, flipped over the center part, and then I just because I was welding it together. That's when you put when you flip it over and you have to join that one sheet of paper. Because I was welding it together, I wanted to cover up that seam. So I cut black strips of paper. They were like 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. And I cut those though with the pinking blade on the 12-inch trimmer. So that was my left side. And then to coordinate, I used the pinking blade as well. And I cut one piece of black and then I put down a strip of both sides of the paper over here, and then just to add that pinking again, I put that in the center. This is tangerine cardstock here. So this is pretty flexible, but you'll see. So on this side, the flip side, here the frame is the stars and the center is the ghost. On this side, it's the ghost frame and the stars in the center, but this would work this way as well. So I've made it very flexible for myself so that I can use either however I want it to line up, I can have it line up. Here's where I use the starry border maker cartridge. Made it thick enough that I could join and combine this so that you could bring a little bit of this paper over here. Here again with the pinking shear, some stickers I stuck up on the foam squares and these stars just to tie all the starry ghosty thing together. Now this is where I wanted to show you. I welded these pieces of paper together when I flipped it over, and then to mitering, I did these strips of with the pinking, cut with the pinking blade. But then when you make the miter the corners, you just do the 45-degree angle. That's what I did on all 4 of these corners. On this side, I just overlapped it, but I welded the paper and then mitered the corners. And there's that. Let's look at the next one. So my next frame, I decided to pick up on the cornflower blue for these spooky eyes. And so I made a frame on this page. And then I took that centerpiece and I put it over here. And I decided, because this was spooky eyes at night, I decided I would go very nocturnal and have silhouette. So I didn't use the spider as a frame. I just used it as a border. And then I used that, the branch on each end, and then here's that pumpkin vine, and I just made it all in black so it would be like silhouette. I think it's really fun. I debated about whether or not I wanted to put these adorable little spiders, but I did because I had the spider web, so I just drew a line with a pen to have them hanging down from their web. But yeah, I didn't, and so they're not silhouette, but I thought, okay, the eyes are in color too. So it all tied together. Creepy Crew and Eek are up on foam squares. But as I was saying, I probably would use the Ghost Punch because now I have the cornflower blue here, or songbird blue. And I can add more pictures and then add more borders and things on the back. But I really like the way that turned out with all this spooky nighttime paper. Not too spooky though, just enough. Now on this next one, I think because I had just been to Disney World Haunted Mansion, I just really wanted to preserve all these framed photos in these kind of antique looking frames. So what I did was I used this piece of paper as though it were a scenic paper. And so I cut 2 inches off each end. And then the piece that was left in the center, I cut in half and put it on each side. Now I did have to go into my cardstock. They didn't have a green as a coordinating, but this was the one I believe called Kiwi. This cardstock called Kiwi, but I thought it looked really good with the Frankenstein and the other greens that are in here. So that's what I used for this. And then I picked up on that songbird blue, cut some oval shapes to fit here because I had the smaller, or had the embellishments here. So I knew I'd have to put a smaller photo, or I could even journal on here. I have so many photos from our trip that I'm not going to have any trouble filling up my pages. So I really did like this. It's busy, but I just think it's really nice. I can use this for our Haunted Mansion pictures, but it would work for trick-or-treat pictures too. So I did another variation on this, something I haven't done before. So let me show you that. So I decided I wanted to use these like a border, but I wanted to preserve, I didn't want to just cut through the frames. So I used the decorative trimmer and I used swell. And then what I did, I just kind of lined it up so that I would, the cat's cut off at the top a little bit, but I made sure I preserved it at the base. And then I thought, okay, so this leaves this open space for my photos. So I pre-cut 3.5 by 3.5 squares, or 3.5 by 5 inch. Again in that songbird blue, so there will be plenty of space for photos. If I have to overlap that, if I want to do one like this, I could do that here, or I can overlap a little bit. I just wanted to have them pre-cut though, so that I can, so that I knew that I could then put them right away to use. As I said, I have so many wonderful photos. And then see the blue, I think that looks really pretty. And it makes it less scary, which works for me. When we were at the parades, the Not So Spooky Mickey, Not So Spooky Halloween Boo to You parade, at the end of the parade, my daughter Jenny said, that was the most mom parade I have ever seen, because it was just fun. And that's what I like. I like the fun of spooky Halloween, but not so spooky Halloween. Okay, I have another single page to show you. Now, I am really excited about this page. When we were at Disney World, they offered this photo package, and we got it. And not only, I think during the regular part of the year, they do these magic photos, but it was especially fun at the Halloween party to have magic photos. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with that old movie with the skeleton dance, but they had us pose, and then later they put the pictures of the skeletons in there. So I cannot wait to put that photo and some of our other magic photos on here. I wanted to show you, this is the wheat punch, and I don't think it was beige, it was another like a creamy color, but it was I didn't want it to be yellow, but I wanted it to have a little more color. So I used the Creative Memories ink, our new little inks, and I just touched it up with that a little bit and put the orange pumpkin chain down here so that it would tie it all together. And I did put, this is like 1.25 inches. The orange is like 1.25 inches where I punched the bats, but then I put an inch wide piece of black behind it so you could see the bats. And so this will be perfect for our Boo Bash from that Halloween party, the not so scary Halloween party. I don't know, and these, I don't know if you can see that. These are all little skulls with a bone through their head. So I am really excited. And on the back of this are the spooky eyes. So I will be able to use some of my other borders and other things for that. Okay, so now let me share some borders with you. This was a small pack. As I said, there were only 6 sheets of paper, and of course I used the cardstock. So the first borders that I made that I want to share are vertical, and this was the stars on one side and then the ghost, like that one of those first pages I showed you. These are all little stickers that I popped up on foam squares, Happy Halloween, and the jack-o'-lantern. So, but I love this little ghost peeking out from the side. So I have a strip of the paper here, and this is on orange cardstock. I have a strip of the paper, but then I added, you know, traditional black and orange for Halloween, but I thought that would finish the edge a little bit. They're just strips of black cardstock that I added there, but I think that's really, really cute. Now these will have to be vertical because I have the words on it, and the ghosts can fly any way they want, but we have our jack-o'-lantern sitting down here at the base. Okay, the next one, this is that flip side of the ghost paper. I just did a thin strip, and these were 2 sticker strips. So this will be great for our Haunted Mansion pictures because we've got the little gravestones here, and then the hands coming out of the ground. A little creepy, but it's all in good fun. So I'm just thinking about it as a funny little not so spooky Halloween, but be a great border. These of course will be horizontal and would be good for a double page. And then I decided, I saw this cute little witch sticker, and I thought, okay, I have to make a little moon for her. So I'm not sure what page I'll use it on. One of my pages, I'm going to add my moon. I just used the custom cutting system. I have the largest circle, the inside circle with the red blade, and then pop the little witch up on foam squares. And that way, that, you know, it looks really neat, gives her a little dimension. And I do want to mention, if you're not familiar with the bat and the starry Border Maker cartridges, the confetti is spectacular. So you want to keep that confetti because you can always use it for cards or other pages and so forth that you make. And there you have it. Well, thank you so much for watching my Not So Spooky Halloween. The Hide and Eat collection is adorable. It's not too large. So if you don't have it, I know it's on last chance already. So I will be putting it on my website after my open house, which is at the end of this month, and the 25th, 26th of October. And if I don't sell them then, I will be putting them on my website. So if they run out, if Creative Memory runs out, you can check out Linda's Scrapbooking Station. If you have any questions or comments, please put those in the comments that are below there. And if you want to look at some of my pre-made pages and borders, my Ready, Set, Snap kits, I have them there. I'll be adding more Halloween ones, some monstery ones, Yeah, Fun Monsters is me. So it's going to be Fun Monsters that I'm going to be adding as well. So you have ready-made pages. Gives you more time to do other things and to get those pictures on the page. Again, thank you for watching. And until next time, happy scrapbooking.